Imagine this. There are over 650 million people with disabilities worldwide, making up about 8% of the global population. Of those, nearly 10% are involved in sports. But did you know that if it weren't for one person, the idea of international sports competitions for people with disabilities might never have existed? So let's ask the question, who invented the Paralympics? Why? And how has it changed the world we live in? Today, we'll dive into the incredible history of the Paralympics and explore some fascinating sports like wheelchair basketball, Paralympic swimming, blind football, and many more. The origins of the Paralympics, from rehabilitation to international sport. To understand where the Paralympics came from, we need to go back to 1944, to the Stoke Mandeville Hospital in the UK. This is where Sir Ludwig Guttmann, a neurosurgeon who fled Nazi Germany due to his Jewish heritage, worked. His mission was to rehabilitate soldiers with spinal cord injuries. Guttmann had a revolutionary idea, using sport as part of rehabilitation. In 1948, on the same day as the opening of the London Summer Olympics, he organized the first sports competition for people with spinal cord injuries, called the Stoke Mandeville Games. These early competitions, primarily focused on archery, were a key milestone for the development of sports for people with disabilities. Over time, Guttmann's vision expanded from rehabilitation to international competition, laying the foundation for the global phenomenon that is the Paralympics today. The birth of the Paralympic movement. In 1960, the first official Paralympic Games were held in Rome, with 400 athletes from 23 countries participating. It was the first time these games took place alongside the Summer Olympics, symbolizing the recognition that athletes with disabilities deserved a place on the international sports stage. The Paralympics quickly gained momentum, and since 1988, both the Summer and Winter Paralympic Games have been held in the same cities as the Olympics, underscoring the importance and prestige of these events. The Paralympics Today: Statistics, Facts, and Global Impact. Today, the Paralympics are one of the largest sporting events in the world. Take, for example, the Tokyo 2021 Paralympics, which featured 4,403 athletes competing in 539 events from over 160 countries. A few interesting facts. The most decorated Paralympian in history is Tricia Zorn, an American swimmer with 55 medals, including 41 golds. The first Winter Paralympic Games were held in 1976 in Sweden. Since 1988, both the Summer and Winter Paralympics are held in the same cities as the Olympics, strengthening the connection between the two events. Paralympic sports: wheelchair basketball. Wheelchair basketball is one of the most intense and dynamic sports in the Paralympic program. It was first developed in the United States just after World War II to help rehabilitate veterans. The rules are similar to traditional basketball, but players use specially designed wheelchairs to maneuver on the court. This sport is fast-paced, physically demanding, and requires incredible skill. It has become a symbol of the Paralympics, showing that even those with limited mobility can compete at the highest levels. Paralympic swimming: equal opportunities in water. Swimming is one of the oldest Paralympic sports, present since the first games in 1960. It is accessible to athletes with various disabilities, from amputations to visual impairments. There are numerous classification categories to ensure fair competition. Paralympic swimmers like Tricia Zorn and Ellie Simmonds have made history with their outstanding achievements. In water, disabilities do not limit these athletes. Instead, the sport highlights their strength and endurance. Blind football: playing in the dark. Blind football five-a-side football is another fascinating Paralympic sport. The game involves 5 players per team, with for blind or visually impaired players and one-sided goalkeeper. The ball contains bells, helping players track its location through sound. Blind football requires immense concentration, communication, and teamwork. Players rely heavily on their sense of hearing and trust in their teammates, making every match thrilling and full of unpredictable moments. Archery: precision and focus. Archery is one of the original sports from the Stoke Mandeville Games and remains a staple of the Paralympics. Athletes compete in wheelchairs, and the sport demands incredible precision, focus, and mental strength. Paralympic archers demonstrate that disability is no barrier to high-level performance. The competition is as intense and exciting as in the Olympic Games, with archers needing to maintain their calm under immense pressure. Wheelchair rugby, the brutal elegance of murder ball. Wheelchair rugby, often referred to as murder ball, is one of the most physically demanding and aggressive sports in the Paralympics. It was developed in Canada in the late 1970s, and since its debut at the 2000 Sydney Games, it has become a fan favorite. The sport is a mixture of rugby, basketball, and ice hockey, with players in specially reinforced wheelchairs crashing into each other as they try to score points by crossing the opposing team's goal line. It's an exhilarating, high-contact sport that breaks many of the stereotypes people might have about disability sports. Players are classified based on their level of physical ability, and the game is fast-paced, requiring strength, strategy, and teamwork. Wheelchair rugby has become a powerful symbol of what can be achieved through determination and passion. Many more sports, breaking barriers everywhere. In addition to the sports mentioned above, the Paralympics feature a wide variety of other disciplines, including wheelchair tennis, requiring immense agility and hand-eye coordination. Table tennis, a fast-paced sport demanding quick reflexes and precision. Athletics, one of the most popular Paralympic sports, with events ranging from sprints and distance races to throwing and jumping competitions. How have the Paralympics changed the world? The Paralympics have not only revolutionized sport, but have also reshaped how society views disability. The Games have shattered stereotypes and inspired millions of people worldwide. Promoting equality and inclusion, the Paralympics provide a platform for people with disabilities to showcase their abilities on a global stage. They have been instrumental in changing perceptions, proving that physical limitations do not define an athlete's potential. Raising visibility, the widespread media coverage of the Paralympics has contributed to increased awareness and acceptance of disability rights. It has also encouraged nations and organizations to invest more in infrastructure and programs supporting accessibility. Sir Ludwig Gutmann, by organizing the first sports competition at Stoke Mandeville, likely never imagined the far-reaching impact of his efforts. Today, the Paralympics are one of the most significant sporting events in the world, challenging the way we view disability and inspiring millions. Did you know that Paralympic athletes don't just compete for medals, but for equality, acceptance, and respect? The Paralympics are more than just a sporting event. They are a story of the fight for dignity and inclusion. If this video has taught you something new or changed your perspective of the Paralympics, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating content.